guys, I am working like crazy trying to get our homeschool plans posted on the website and get all of these videos to cover everything that we want to talk about as we get this school year up and going. I don't know what happened, but this summer has completely gotten away from me and we're like on the doorstep to fall and I want to get this stuff done. So I want to do a quick video here. I posted one that I'll link to this below, kind of just giving you an introduction to what the Minimalist Homeschool is, and then I want to go through the products that we use and then go through in a separate video kind of how we use the program and what it kind of looks like to our family. Not that you have to do it that way, but more so just to kind of give an idea. So these are all of the items that we do. I did the back to school shopping for our 3 children that are in school. I bought everything supply-wise for all 3 of them for well under $40. And there are some books that I still need, but honestly, there's not a ton, so I usually will just kind of pick them up as we need them throughout the year. Pretty much everything you can find on Amazon, so as we need it, I just order it and we have it. To get started, every day we will be reading and doing Bible study together as a family. You obviously can download a free Bible app on your phone if you want to use that. Our kids all have their Bibles, and I will link below the Bibles that we use for them. These ones are really nice. This is the New Living Translation Illustrated Study Bible that I have done a complete review on before, and our kids love this one. It has so many pictures and things in it, so it really is their favorite. But I will link that. Like I said, I did a Bible review of all the Bibles that we use, what we like about each different one, so I'll have that down in the description box. So we'll be using our Bibles, obviously. I like the Bible Made Easy for Kids. We have this book. Basically, it just gives kind of a great little summary of each thing that we're going to be reading through. So since we do read through the entire Bible, I like to kind of have this handy just to kind of help the kids. Sometimes it gives just a great little illustration of the way it breaks it down so that they really can grasp and understand what it is that we're reading. Another book that we are going to read through is Heaven for Kids by Randy Alcorn. There is, which I left it over there, but he has the adult version, which is just called Heaven, which is fantastic. It's basically, this one is kind of just the condensed, simplified version to that, obviously more focused for the kids, but I recommend both of them. YouTube search Randy Alcorn. He is an amazing, amazing teacher. But we'll be reading through this every day together. So that's what for Bible, after we read each day, I like to journal, and usually that's just been a regular notebook where I have the kids write some of their favorite scripture out of what we read, thoughts, questions, whatever, draw a picture, something based off of what we just read. But this year I really wanted to make sure that we were focusing on every day giving them something to do that worked their minds, their hearts, and their hands. My kids love to have some kind of activity to do, so I decided that after Bible, instead of just having like a regular writing journal, I went ahead and got them all just a little art watercolor spiral bound so it stayed together well, but a little watercolor notebook. So I got them this, and they each got their set of washable watercolors, and I have a little vase that I keep underneath the sink with a bunch of different little just cheap paintbrushes in it. So every day after we finish with Bible, they will all have their own watercolor notebook that they can write some scripture in. We'll have weekly memory verses, so if they want to write that and kind of paint a picture around it or whatever they feel, whatever it may be, but we're going to do that each morning with the watercolors. So that's it for Bible. I also got them, that will kind of go into the rest of our stuff. Each kid has a different colored 3-subject notebook, so that gives them the first divider to be for language arts to have a place to practice their spelling words. The second can be scratch paper for doing math activities. The third can be anything that we need to put down for science, history, whatever. So they each got one of these notebooks. I love this because then it keeps everything together in one notebook. So at the end of the year, I don't have a million pages all over the place. We have everything nice and neat. They'll each pick a color. Done deal. We use the Good and the Beautiful. I've done that multiple different ways. I know some people have commented to me that the Good and the Beautiful just took too long. We don't do all of the stuff that comes with the Good and the Beautiful. When you go to their website, which I completely recommend you do, and see it, there's a lot of information there. I use it for the purpose that I really do like it. It's very pretty, it's very enjoyable. It is my kids' favorite thing we have used in all of our years. This will be our 7th year homeschooling, and I will link their review down below as well, and they just absolutely love it. I love it for the fact that they offer most all of the primary grades for free. You can download the PDF for free and have it. I have done the Good and the Beautiful a couple different ways. I have done it where I just download the free PDF, and what I do is I kind of go through some of the activities that are in there. It's easy that the kids can just look at them on the paper and then use one of their areas in their notebook to write the answers down. That makes it really easy. Sometimes I'll do that. Sometimes I'll go through and just print out the pages that I would like for them to have a copy of, and then that way they can fill them out on the printed copy. So then I just print out the activities we want, put them in a clear sleeve here, and put it with their notebook so that they have it. We've done it that way. Super cheap, super easy. I've also done it where I got on and actually purchased their printed copy of the course book. I priced out the difference between having it printed at like a local print shop, big box print shop, versus just buying theirs. Buying theirs is by far cheaper. I could not believe how cheap it was. And then you get this big, beautiful course book. The pictures in here are absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's very, very high quality. Of course, now that I'm saying that, I can't find one, but they've got these beautiful photos in here. And then this way the kids can just write directly on the book, fill everything out. This I think is easier than me having to go through, see which activities they can write on their paper, which ones we have to print out. So this I definitely think is easier. I got that and the course companion. So that way my kids, they've got their charts of spelling words in them. So that way the kids had their lesson, one lesson per day to do out of here, and then a suggested list of words for them to practice and study. And if you have a kiddo like our oldest who just despises having to do any spelling word drills or things like that, what we do for him is in his 3-subject notebook every day when we're doing the language arts portion, instead of having to just write out spelling words, he, since he's very reluctant with writing, we set a timer and we start with 1 minute and work up to like 15 minutes. And for that week, he has 1 minute where he has to write in this notebook. I don't care what he writes, he just has to write. We have him, slightly care what he writes. We have him write out his spelling words at least one time. So he has to at least write them down there real quick, but then the rest of the words he can continue to repeat writing those spelling words, or he can write completely other words, it doesn't matter. So we have him do that, and then the following week he has to write for 2 minutes straight and try to beat, we count how many words he wrote up in 1 minute, so that way the next day he can try to beat that count and try to write more. And that's really helped him a lot in kind of just getting that muscle function going of just getting the words on the paper. So it's been a big help. So we do that for him. As far as all the additional things that the Good and the Beautiful, we read the books that they suggest and get with there. I think if you get them through them versus ordering from Amazon, you save a little bit. But we do usually read their books. As far as all of the flashcards and all the extra things. We don't do any of that. You can if you want to, but you certainly don't have to. We do the lesson study, one lesson per day, work on some spelling words, just that's good to do in general, and then read the books. That's it. So it doesn't have to be a real big long process. We do that. We will have various different books that we read through. I'm really excited about our book list for this year. We're going to start off with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in the Chronicles of Narnia series. I love the whole series, and me and my kids will probably end up reading all of the books this year just because I really enjoy them. But I wanted to start off with this one. Every day we will read a chapter out of a book together as a family, or your kids can read it on their own if they would prefer to do that. Like I said, we're going to start off with Chronicles of Narnia, which I think will be really great because Randy Alcorn, who is the author of the Heaven for Kids book, he really uses that book a lot to help illustrate these points. So for any of the kids that haven't read this book yet, I think it'd be really worthwhile to read it, and that will kind of help draw those lines together. So this is the book we're going to be starting with. For math, we do that online using CK12 or Khan Academy, whatever your preference is. If you have something else that you prefer over that, feel free to use it. That's fine. I did go ahead at Dollar Tree and just got each kid and myself one of these little slate boards, and then got some chalk to go with it. A lot of times when we're all sitting at the table going through and doing this stuff, some things I don't make them write out a full page and stuff. If we can do it together, kind of like the old one-room classrooms where I can throw out words or phrases, math problems, things like that we can do together. Kids kind of enjoy just having the little blackboard here and some chalk that they can write their answers on. So we did go ahead and get those. I think will be fun. I have a whiteboard that I keep hung up on our wall here too for when I need to kind of illustrate stuff out for them. But I've noticed that my kids love, if it's like a whiteboard or a chalkboard, something that isn't a piece of paper. They get to write and work out the problem on that. They really love it. So I went ahead and got them all of their individual boards for that. So I think they will really enjoy that. For our little kiddos, when it comes to reading, I have taught our kids with the Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. They love this book. So I will go ahead and be using that again this year. Our 5-year-old is in that littles category. I want to talk about the little kiddos kind of in an individual video, so you'll see those coming out here soon where we can sit down with the 3 different age groups that we focus on, the littles, the big kids, and the teens, and we'll talk about those individually and kind of really get into some of the details with them. But that's the book we'll be using for anybody who isn't reading yet and needs to kind of work on that, or even if you have a kiddo that is technically reading but they're struggling a lot and having a hard time, highly recommend taking this and kind of just going to the beginning, even if some of it's just review, and going through it. So our electives are baking, which we'll be doing different activities together in there, our handicrafts that we'll be working on, history, science, and physical education. Physical education a lot this year, we'll be working on learning about excuse me, the food we put into our bodies, the fuel that we turn it into, getting up and moving together as a family and doing stuff. So we've got some fun documentaries and videos that we'll be doing throughout the year on those. Science is kind of a mixture of some online lessons through CK12. Khan Academy also has some getting out and just doing some nature studies, seeing the world that God has here around us, and then some fun videos and different science shows. Again, like I said on the introduction, these different electives, I like to touch on them. If you have a kid that's really super into a certain topic, run with it, go and do more. That's fantastic. But we don't have a ton for each of these that we really push on the kids because I quite honestly just don't find it very worthwhile. For history this year, we're going to be using The Story of the World again, Volume 2, The Middle Ages. We have an additional book that I'm really excited about, but I have not gotten on Amazon and ordered yet. It is What Really Happened During the Middle Ages, and it's a collection of biographies about these people throughout the Middle Ages. So as we're going through the story of the world in various chapters, we will also have a correlating chapter in that What Really Happened in the Middle Ages book to read along with that. So I think that's pretty exciting. We also will have some links to some videos that another mom had put together when they read through it. So just some additional things to show the kids. Maybe it's not a time period that your kids are that interested in, maybe it is. So I just like to offer it to the kids so that they can take a peek at it. I don't really find much use in making them drill a bunch of facts and dates and things like that. I know I did that for my entire schooling and I couldn't tell you any of them. So I just don't want to waste my time with that. If your kids are super into history and super into knowing dates and places and battles and all of that stuff, feel free, have at it. That sounds fantastic. I really think that's pretty much all of our supplies. The last thing I got were just some extra strong lead mechanical pencils. My kids, maybe it's just my kids and your kids don't do this, but I feel like they must eat the pencils. I don't know where they go. So see there's multiple colors in here. I give each kid one pencil, each with a different color, and they are to guard that pencil with their life. When it comes out on the first day of school, it gets attached to their notebook so that we don't lose it. And then I hide the remainder in this box somewhere in a top secret location that nobody knows about, because otherwise my kids would go through like a pack of these a day. I swear they would. So I pick up one of those usually a couple times throughout the year and then hide the rest. That's all of our supplies, minus we'll have additional readers as we go through the year, and those will all be listed on the school supply PDF. We're doing Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe first. Wonder will be second. And those are the two books that we're reading in the first term. So again, super easy to get off of Amazon. Most of the books you can even get off of Amazon used. I do that a lot and get them that way, which makes it ridiculously cheap. And then really the only thing that could be kind of costly, especially if you've got teens, you've got high schoolers, middle school, is ordering. You can't get the Good and the Beautiful, the free PDF for those levels, I don't believe, unless something's different, maybe. But if you order that course book, even just getting the course book by itself is not very expensive. And that covers all of their language arts and geography and art appreciation all in this one book. So I really think that, even for the upper levels, which are a little more costly, you have so much in this one course book that it covers. It is well worth the price. But again, if you can't afford the price right now and you just, on the other ones, use the PDF, or I think you can even order the PDF on the other ones, but super cost effective. And if that's the only thing that really costs very much and everything else is free or rather inexpensive, I mean, all of your supply items you could pick up at the Dollar Tree, or something like that. So all three kids were able to get it done very, very inexpensively. This will be everything for the year. I'm super excited. They're super excited. I think it's going to be a really fun year. So I'm excited to get these plans posted. We've got a few more videos kind of just touching on the various age groups, and like I said, just another of how we use the program and kind of run through it in a day, just to share. Again, you don't have to do it the way we do it, but wanted to make sure we put that up there. If there's anything at all that we can do to help, to get you anything that you need, any prayer requests that we can lift up for you, please message us, let us know. Otherwise, be sure to subscribe here down below. Connect with us on Facebook and Instagram. Love to see what everybody's doing and getting ready for the school year. So we look forward to hearing from you all, and we'll see you next time.